bitter criticism. It's a rainy day. Not a rainy day, but like a foggy day. I know there's more than that definition. It's more than foggy and rainy. But here we go. Let's be happy. Let's read Cgtn. Let's start with the happiness. So before watching the image, let's read it right away. And says China, May 11, 2025. Xi to attend opening ceremony of the 4th ministerial meeting of China CELAC Forum. Updated this May 11. 1 minute read, a short news. No photograph because bad internet connection. Okay, but here we go anyway. The photograph shows a view of the central business district in Beijing, China. That's it, not so important photograph, but Chinese president, well, a very short news. Chinese President Xi Jinping will attend and deliver a speech at the opening ceremony of the 4th ministerial meeting of the China CELAC Community of Latin American and Caribbean States Forum in Beijing on May 13. A Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson announced on Sunday. Sources: Xinhua News Agency. And that's it. You know, I got the wrong bus. This bus. I'll read all the news on internet. I took the wrong bus. This bus is take too much, way too much. I don't remember how to say it. It's not shortages. It's not shortcuts. Long cuts. Like, what's the opposite of shortcuts? Not shortcuts, but the opposite. You know. This bus takes the long ways. The long ways. It's beautiful, but ironically, I'm late today. So there you have. Anyway, here we have a medium-sized news. Cgtn is talking about the conflict in India, politics, May 11, 2025. Wang Yi speaks to India's Doval, urges quote-unquote calm and restraint after days of fighting. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi expressed hope on Saturday that India and Pakistan will remain calm and restrained, properly handle differences through dialogue and consultation, and avoid escalating the situation. He made the remarks during a phone call with India's Security National Advisor, Ajit Doval. Wang, also a member of the Political Bureau of the Communist Party of China Central Committee and director of the Office of the Central Commission for Foreign Affairs, said China supports and expects India and Pakistan to achieve a comprehensive and lasting ceasefire true consultation which serves the fundamental interests of both countries and reflects the common aspiration on the international community. Wang also said that China condemns the terrorist attack in Pahalgan area and opposes all forms of terrorism. After 4 days of deadly fighting, India and Pakistan agreed to a ceasefire on Saturday. Top military officials from both sides also agreed to speak again around noon on Monday. And there's a chow over there. Noting that the world is undergoing both transformation and upheaval, Wang said peace and stability in Central Asia are hard-won and must be cherished, like Madonna. Cherish. He emphasized that India and Pakistan are immovable neighbors, and both are also neighbors of China. That's a great detail, a great question. Pakistan is also a neighbor of China. I was thinking about it, I didn't remember, but there you have. Pakistan is also a neighbor of China. And it's beautiful here now. The neighboring here, they set a cleaning. There's a lot of garbage there too. Still garbage over here. A lot of garbage here. But before it was just like that. Look, terrible. Such a lazy people. Anyway. Wang also said that China condemns the terrorist attack in Pahalgam area and opposes all forms of terrorism. After 4 days of deadly fighting, India and Pakistan agreed to a ceasefire on Saturday. Top military officials from both sides also agreed to speak again around noon on Monday. Noting that the world is undergoing both transformation and upheaval, Wang said peace and stability in Asia are hard-won and must be cherished. He emphasized that India and Pakistan are immovable neighbors, and both are also neighbors of China. Doval said that the attacks in the Pahalgam area caused serious casualties on the Indian side and noted that India must take counter-terrorism actions. War is not the choice of the Indian side and is not in the interest of either side, he said, adding that both India and Pakistan will be committed to a ceasefire and look forward to restoring regional peace and stability as soon as possible. That's it. With input from Xinhua. Cover defense personnel patrolled the Raisina Hills of South and North blocks amid escalating tensions with Pakistan along the border areas. On May 10, 2025 in New Delhi, India. Let's see the photograph. Oh, no photograph. Next, this next was from Synthesizer TV, Synth Pop. Anyway, China, May 10 from yesterday, I guess. 2025, China-US high-level economic trade meeting starts in Geneva. 1 minute read. Also a small news. That's it. China and the United States kick off a high-level meeting on economic and trade affairs in Geneva, Switzerland on Saturday. As the Chinese lead persons for China-US economic and trade affairs, He Li Feng, who is also a member of the political bureau of the Communist Party of China Central Committee, and Vice Premier attend the meeting with the U.S.-led person Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. The two sides have held talks for the first time since the U.S. side imposed tariffs on Chinese goods. China is open to dialogue, but any dialogue must be based on equality, respect, and mutual benefit. A Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson said on Wednesday at a regular press briefing in response to a query on the meeting. That is what Brazilians like Leonardo Tucci from TV 24/7, a Brazilian TV channel. They say China is not worried. China is not desperate for the tariffs. China is not desperate. China will not. I forgot the word. China will not beg. Yeah, China's not begging. China's not begging. So here we are with the other news, another short news. Good work. Is there a Chinese Cgtn editor in the other side? You are listening to me. This huge news, bigger than 2 minutes, bigger than 2 minutes, is hard to read in a bus. It's hard to read the headlines. A headline bigger than 2 minutes news. I guess it's too much, but I love China. I love Cgtn. And this news is about Russia. I'm going to Russia Today too. Just wait a minute. Putin opposes direct peace talks with Ukraine after 3-year war. Yeah. May 11, 2025. A 1 minute read, a short news. And there's Vladimir Putin. Russian President Vladimir Putin gives a statement to the media at the Kremlin in Moscow. I love Russia too. Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Sunday that Russia was proposing direct talks with Ukraine in Istanbul on May 15 in an attempt to, quote, eliminate the root causes of the conflict, end quote, and, quote, to achieve the restoration of a long-term lasting peace, end quote, rather than simply a pause for rearmament. Sounds great. Sounds like peace. Can you see we are in a absolutely different path over here. We are taking other streets. And the photograph shows Russian President Vladimir Putin gives a statement to the media at the Kremlin in Moscow, Russia, May 11. And I know that all these presidents, they are reuniting, meeting with each other in Russia for the 80th anniversary of the victory on Nazism. And quote, we are proposing that Kiev resume direct negotiations without any preconditions, end quote. Putin said from the Kremlin in the early hours on Sunday, quote, we offer the Kiev authorities to resume negotiations already on Thursday in Istanbul. What's going to happen in Istanbul, in Turkey, I don't know, but sources, writers. And here we go with the last one. And then you have a gigantic news of 6 minutes. Well, I have the whole time of the world here. Space, May 11, 2025. Space for all. Why countries want to work with China for space missions? 6 minutes, right? I'm going to make it in 20 minutes. I'm going to run. Xiao Shenshen, quote, space and exploration of space is meant to be according to the Outer Space Treaty for the benefit of all mankind, end quote, said Aarti Hola Maini, director of the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, ONOOSA. Hola Maini spoke to Cgtn ahead of this year's Space Day of China on April 24, and even that underscored the importance of global collaboration in humanity's pursuit beyond Earth. Space exploration requires the involvement of multiple stakeholders. Global cooperation not only ensures more equitable participation, but also accelerates scientific progress and fosters capacity building, especially for developing countries. However, not all spacefaring nations are on the same page. The United States has urged its allies to avoid participating in China's space initiatives, citing concerns over technology transfer and security, according to a report obtained by Defense One, a US-based military and national security news outlet. The power of satellite data sharing. Satellite data sharing is often overlooked, yet it is essential for effective risk management and disaster response that can save lives and protect communities. As the magnitude 7.9 earthquake rocked Myanmar on March 28, China activated over 30 satellites, including Gaofen, Shiyuan, and Shilin series, to capture high-resolution imagery of the affected regions in support of disaster response. This rapid deployment enabled the identification more than 480 suspected disaster sites within 120 kilometers radius of the epicenter near Mandalay. China's Fengyun meteorological satellites now serve global disaster prevention efforts. According to the China Meteorological Administration, these satellites have provided data and products to 133 countries and regions as of April 2025, supporting weather forecasting, climate prediction, and natural disaster monitoring. Shared missions, shared risks. As low Earth orbit LEO satellites continue to revolutionize Earth observation and global communications, their potential extends even further to safeguarding Earth itself. Quote, an efficient monitoring of near-Earth objects, certainly early detection and then a globally coordinated mitigation strategy, end quote. The executive director of the International Astronautical Federation, IAF, Christopher Feichtinger, told Cgtn. I also learned from Tan Yuhua, the deputy chief designer of the Chang'e 7, the necessity of international collaborations in ground-based observations. She delivered a keynote speech calling for global participation at the second International Deep Space Explorations Conference, IDSEC. Quote, we look forward to collaboration with some of the world's major observatories. We could jointly observe asteroid targets in order to fully prepare for for the implementation of asteroid defense missions. Subtitle. China's role in leading global collaboration. This is not the first time geopolitical rifts have shaped the trajectory of space programs. Due to US restrictions, China was excluded from the International Space Station program. In response, China took an independent path and developed its own orbital platform, the China Space Station (CSS). Today, that path has led to a globally accessible research platform in orbit. Through a partnership with UNOOSA, China has selected 9 international experiments from 17 countries to be conducted conducted aboard the CSS, according to a 2024 report by China Manned Space Agency. Over 1,000 research projects are expected on the station in the next 10 to 15 years, spanning scientific outreach, technological innovation, and international collaboration. Quote, the projects we collect via the United Nations are going on. The China-Europe joint projects are going on. And we are expanding more international cooperation, end quote, said Shang Wei, a researcher from the Space Application Center at the Chinese Academy of Sciences. China is also laying the groundwork for its ambitious International Lunar Research Station, ILRS. At this recent IDSEC, China and Senegal signed a cooperation agreement, an encouraging step for African nations seeking to join the global space community. Quote, we need support to train people in Senegal in space science. We need to build infrastructures. We need to empower our kids. Being part of a very big project, international cooperation project, is the best way to interest the next generation in working in space science. It will be a very big achievement for developing countries like Senegal. So this is what we are expecting in this collaboration. It is very important for our roadmap to be part of this ambitious program, end quote, said Madame Kaide, the director of the Senegalese Agency for Space Studies, in an interview with Cgtn. I wonder what France is doing for Senegal. Just kidding. The Chang'e 6 lunar mission recently exemplified the spirit of open collaboration. 4 payloads from different countries and organizations hitches a ride on it, including Pakistan's first CubeSat and a detection of outgassing radon (DORN) instrument by France. Pierre-Yves Meslin, the principal scientist of the DORN project, shared with me his take on having his collaboration. Quote, together with my team in France and in China, we have now an instrument on the moon, on the far side of the moon, and it will stay there forever, end quote. China continues to invite global participation in its lunar plans. 10 international scientific and technological projects have been selected to join its Chang'e 8 lunar exploration mission that's scheduled for launch around 2029. The mission will target the Leibniz Beta Plateau near the moon's south pole. a region of high scientific interest for future lunar base development. On the commercial space side, China also launched a remote sensing satellite for Oman, which was designed in a collaborative effort between Omanese space tech startup Oman Lens, Chinese private aerospace firm Star Vision Aerospace, and an Omani investment company. Launched on November 11, 2024 by China's commercial carrier rocket Lijian First, this mission marks the first time a Chinese commercial space enterprise has provided launch services to an international user. As space exploration continues to evolve, international collaboration remains essential for addressing global challenges and advancing scientific knowledge. China's commitment to inclusive and cooperative space initiatives demonstrates the potential for shared progress and mutual benefit in the final frontier. In a conversation that left a lasting impression, Dumitru Dorin, Prunariu, Romania's first astronaut and president of the Association of Space Explorers, shared this thought with me during an event for the third International Moon Day. Quote, "When you fly into space, you see the Earth as a unity, as a home for all of us. So we have to think globally." End quote. It's a powerful reminder that space belongs to no one nation alone. As nations look to return to the moon and reach for Mars, thinking globally won't be aspirational. Won't just be aspirational, it will be essential. And that was the gigantic article. I bet on China. I bet Brazil and China, they are going to do great business, great plans, but not Chile. I'm sorry. Chile, as you can see, is a slum country, a slum, yeah.